I'm Larissa. I am 21 years old now, and I'm hoping that Larissa, the future Larissa, is way better than now with phonetics and phonology studies. And I think we are on the beginning right now, so I think this video would be great for thinking about going to the first steps of the study. So I hope this future Larissa can be really grateful from the past Larissa that is me right now. It's crazy. But when we study about talking, or when we think first of all, when we think about the process of talking, we don't think about like the muscles that we are moving, or the voice, the changes of the sounds of our voice. We don't think about it too much. Like right now, I'm doing this unconsciously because I learned it was a process. So I learned this and it's naturally for me now. And I don't think too much when I am talking. I'm just talking and I really love talking, so not a problem at all. And for example, when we are running downstairs, we don't think about each muscle we are moving or the movements of our leg. We're just running downstairs. And of course, when we think like when we are running downstairs, when we are late, we just go. Sometimes we don't even think about the security when we are running. We just go. We just follow our instincts, right? The study of phonetics and phonology go through this way of studying each movement and each sound that we produce while we are talking. And they are different. So we cannot say that phonetics and phonology are the same thing because they study different kinds of ways of movement and sounds, and I'm going to explain this right now because at first it seems to be like really complicated, but it's not. So going through this difference between phonetics and phonology, let's start with phonetics. So phonetics, we can think like a full range of colors, like the whole color spectrum. Phonetics will study each color, or as we can see, as we can say about the speaking process, every type of sound. So even the ones that we are not aware of from, like the ones that we don't know that we can do or it's possible doing. So phonetics go through this study of each sound that humans can make. Let's continue with the color spectrum. So phonetics go through all the colors. Phonology will pick only one. For example, I will choose pink. We know that pink has a lot of variations. There is the baby pink, or there's more neon. So, but for phonology, independently of the different of the colors, it will be pink. So there's not this difference between baby pink or neon pink. No, it's all pink. However, we are here to study words and languages, not colors, right? So I'm going to give an example using the word, let me think, cat. So cat, there are differences between some forms of speaking this word. We can say cat or cot. There's a lot of different ways to say this word. And phonetics studies will focus on this variation of speech. So the variation of the forms, we can say cat. But for phonology, this combination of K, A, T will be cat anyways, will be the same meaning. So independently of the variation of speech, it'll be the same meaning. About this unconsciously movements that we do when we are talking. Now we're going to talk more about assimilation. So assimilation, it's like when a sound, it's doing like a neighboring sound. What is a neighboring sound? When we are talking, we use some words, some sounds, let's put like this, that they are neighbor, or as we can say, they are near each other, so it's easier to our mouths doing the movement while we're talking. For example, when we say the word incredible, we don't emphasize the N like we do the incredible, like an NG sound on the incredible. We do this because the K sound that goes in incredible, the K is near to the sound of G, NG sound. So we go to incredible instead of incredible. So it's a way that our mouth goes to do like easier, because we know we want the things easier, so we do not want to complicate things that we can do simply. So there are a lot of sounds that we can produce. I will not spend here like hours and hours and days and months producing all the sounds that we can do, but it's like, let's think. When we have to talk for someone, like the sound of something, because in different languages there are some sounds that we don't use so commonly. So it's kind of hard to describe a sound without a tool that can help us. I'm going to give an example because it seems to be confusing right now. So let's go. Let's think about this click sound, like a sound that we do with a blade when we are like doing this on the wall. So this is like, to say this sound is, how can I like teach someone to do this? I cannot get my tongue, like the tongue of the person, and go like, no. So there is thing that was created for some people that's kind of important for us to study. That is the IPA, the International Phonetic Alphabet. And this is really helpful because it describes this sound. And this IPA sound, this IPA alphabet really help us to describe sounds. It's a different alphabet that describes all the sounds of consonants and vowels. The IPA, the International Phonetic Alphabet, was created on 1888, and it was created for this purpose, to help us to describe those sounds and making like a different alphabet only for us like to listen to the sounds and make like a phonetic alphabet for describe those sounds that we cannot like get the tongue of the person and go and teach to do this. So it's really helpful. Of course that only the IPA, it's not the only thing that we have to study, right? Because as I said previously, um, when we are talking, we do a lot of things. It's not only open our mouths and go and, well, it's a lot of things. So of course, IPA help us to the sounds, but we have to study the movements that we articulate our mouth to talk. So for understand how we can produce sounds, we have first to understand the place and the manner of articulation of our mouth, right? And to understand that, we have to know about the vocal tract. So the vocal tract, it's kind of a part of biology, study of the body, but the main things to know is the place and the manner of articulation. Consonants, they are categorized in place and manner of articulation.
Hello, we have some changes here because I think it's better when we see the vocal tract. So, this is the vocal tract, say hi. And the vocal tract is important for us understanding the places and the manners of articulation. The place of articulation of consonants is where the placement of the tongue or the lip configuration. Now, let's go back here to the image of the vocal tract. The most used places of articulation in English can be the bilabial, when both lips produce a sound like P, P, P. So it's both lips. So here, both lips. I put here, but it's here. Ooh, both lips. Uh, there is the labiodental place of articulation, and it's the lip together with the teeth, like v. You your teeth goes together with your lower lip. There is the alveolar, that's the tongue on the ridge behind your teeth. And in Portuguese, there is this expression really funny that I say sky of the mouth. That it's here, right here. And I think it's really funny because it is like similar to the sky. So I say sky of the mouth, and it helps me a lot. So the alveolar ridge is where we produce the alveolar sound like t, d, or s when our tongue touches our sky of the mouth, as we can say. And of course, there are more, but I'm saying just some examples. And for us to finish here, there is the palatal. That is this part here of the mouth, the palatal. And the palatal is when our tongue is near the hard palate. So there is the soft palate and the hard. The palatal sounds go here on the hard palate.
As I already explained, the consonants are divided into place and manner of articulation. English has 6 pairs of stop consonants, and they are p, b, k, g, t, and d. They are voiced counterparts. Voiced counterparts explains that they are articulated at the same place. They are produced in the same place, but our vocal cords vibrate differently on each sound that we made. We have the voiced and the voiceless division, but as I was reading here on my works, on my studies, I discovered a new definition. I think this one is like the coolest one because it's defined by some different words than voiced and voiceless. So, for example, p and b, they are bilabials, but p, we make more effort to say this word, not the same as b, 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 p, you know. So there is these differences between fortis and lenis. Fortis explains that we produce those sounds. These sounds are articulated with a greater effort, and lenis sounds like b, g, they are produced with less effort and breath force. So we can say like softly, smoothly. These words it doesn't requires like the p, the effort that we do as in p. This distinction goes better than voiced and voiceless because it analyzes better the effort that we do while saying these sounds. So now that we already know and we already put on our minds the explanation of place of articulation, now we have to know about the manner of articulation. The manner of articulation of a sound, it's in basic words how we shape the air. So the degree and the kind of obstruction we make with the vocal tract. So talking about each kind of manner of articulation, let's start with the fricatives. So the fricatives are produced by pushing air through a narrow space, like f, v, th. This th is the most common in English as f and v and th, sh. And when we are talking about the fricatives, there is this special type of fricatives that they are called sibilants. We can specify these ones as in s or sh. Or for example, the word snake, the sound of s, or shake, this sh sound. These type of sounds, it's when we create a hissing or a buzzing noise. And this hissy sound is called the sibilants. It's a special type of fricatives. And talking about a different type of manner of articulation now, we have the affricates. The affricate sounds, they are a blend into stop and fricative. They can be voiced like in judge, this j sound, judge, because this j, there is the friction and it's a stop, like we can't do this sound continuously. And the sound ch, as in church, ch, ch, ch. If we put here ch, 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 it's voiceless. Now talking about the nasal sound, it's basically the air goes through your nose and produces sounds nasalized. We have three different types. We have m like man, we have n like nice, and ung. It's produced on the velar part of the vocal tract, and an example it's like sing. And it only happens on the final syllable. We cannot use in the beginning of a word, we only use the sound on the final syllable. And another way of manner of articulation, we have the approximants that we can bring the voice vocal tract here, the lips together, or we can do big movements. However, it's not that we do not do that effort. It's a smooth airflow, like yes, where the sound y, y, y. We do like an velar or velar part, but it's a smooth airflow. Yes, red, light. So there is this movement of the places of articulation, but it's a smooth airflow. There's not that friction or that turbulent airflow. And it's really, really, really important to understand because we saw all of the consonant variations of places and manners of articulation. And how about the vowels, right? So the vowels, they don't have like an obstruction of the air. We all say like them naturally, like without a friction or something. And they are divided into categories about like if they are when we speak our mouth goes round like oh I oh if it's round or not, how our the wide of our mouths, how open is our mouths when we said these vowels. So this is a specific type of variation of vowels that it's way different than the consonants, because the consonants we have the friction, we have the place and manner. However, the vowels are different because it goes without friction. Now, going back a little bit, on the beginning of this vlog, I said that our mouth always go through the easy way because things are already complicated enough. So when we are speaking, we go into the more basic ways and the simpler ways for our speech flows naturally. So we are always searching for this way of make it easier, right? That's why when I was reading on my studies, on my notes, I saw this thing called connected speech. And it is a way of the flow of speaking goes naturally. And it's really interesting. Because, for example, when we say words, we don't usually say all them separately. We always go them like blend them together. And this blend can be an elision when we say like for example friendship. We take out one word. We don't say the friend, we don't say the sound. We go friendship. Assimilation can be like when we change a sound so it can be like easily to say. For example, good boy. They go all round. And liaison can be like adding a linking sound. I saw it. So it's more a way like to blend it all together. And of course, there are a lot of differences between how people can pronounce some sounds because we have social differences, and we can use this different pronunciation of the sounds for a social study, as William Labov did in 1970. and he made a study, really important study, that he analyzed the differences between some department stores and some top stores in New York, and how they pronounce the R, like on floor. And this retroflex R said for more people like on the basic side of New York, on the department stores, the more basic, not the rich and wealthy people. So it's really important to understand this part of the social linguistic, because everything can be a reflection on our society, because those sounds were constructed by our humans know Earth. So it's really important to know this. So that's it. I think it's really important to understand phonetics and phonology, because it's the study of all languages, because those sounds cannot be for only one language. They can be on various languages, and understanding them and understanding how do we pronounce, and the work that our vocal tract and our body does for a thing that flows naturally for us, that's speaking. I think it's way important for our study, and I think these informations do not go away, because they are really important for study everything related to the phonetics and phonology side of the subjects. And that's it. I'm really happy that I could learn of this, and I think it's very important for all my languages that I know. And yeah, I'm so glad that I am having this opportunity to study and to know everything. And it's a really curious thing, because I never thought that I could be this way interested to know about our body, because it blends with some biology contents that when I was at school I really like it. But I wasn't I have to study medicine to do this? No. So it's really cool that we have those subjects here on studying on the language studies. So that's it. I'm really glad that I have this opportunity to study, and I hope that I will help not only Larissa, my future self, but also someone that watches this video, this vlog that I did here with my cozy cardigan, and this weather that goes raining and then stops in the middle of the video. But yeah, that's it. I'm going to wrap it up here. It's a wrap, and see you on the next video. Bye bye.